Mario once again with MIA Microflight. I wanted to do a long video. I just did a short on this comparison of these two helicopters here. These are both in the sub-micro size. This is the C189. It's gone through a lot of crashes, and my last crash I basically just totaled. This is not working any longer. I actually went back to the flight controller. You can see I even repaired this barometer that I actually took out, and while in the process of doing that, some of the traces got ruined. So I actually went and did this repair. It worked for a while, but it developed some other issues, and I just it's basically this is done. The receiver. Somebody posted in one of my videos in the comments that he actually bought another receiver because he thought that the helicopter had issues with the receiver. There's a lot of videos on flyaways with this particular helicopter, and these I believe that that's an issue with many of these helicopters that have the barometer and the optical flow sensor. You can remove the optical flow sensor from the circuit either via the transmitter programming feature or physically, and the helicopter will fly fine as long as the electronics are working as they should. But this helicopter has had some issues. I actually developed my own control system for that. I have videos on how I did that. You can check out those videos, and but I'm pretty much done with this helicopter for now. I ended up crashing this, and this just would not stop. I could not kill the throttle. That has nothing to do with the um, it's got nothing to do with the blades and the upgrades that you see on this helicopter. In fact, these upgrades are actually more resilient, wider landing gear and longer skids that I even jerry rig with these rubber bands here just to make it more to withstand some of the crashes. If you would kill the power, to the helicopter, if it starts to get away, it's got a much better landing gear, and so this has helped in many of the crashes that I've had. But my last crash, this just went out of whack completely, and so I cannot rely on this control system any longer. It could very well be an issue with the 2-in-1 speed control that somebody mentioned that he thinks that might be the problem. But I'm a little tired of working on this helicopter and just seeing it that is just not to the level that I think it should be. For comparison's sake, this is my own housefly. This is a really vintage helicopter. This is a 19, probably more than 20 years. This helicopter, when I did this one, this is the pre-release version of the MIA housefly. I am going to put a link in the description of this video that will take you to a video that was done with this helicopter flying inside a gym. You can see how beautiful this helicopter flies indoors. No gizmos, no electronic stabilizers other than just a gyro for the tail control. No issues with flyaways, no issues with throttle. None of these things that are apparent in many videos, including my own with this particular RC era helicopters, with all this electronic stabilization and all this stuff that's not necessary. On top of it, it's a lot heavier than this one right here. Considering that also that when I designed this helicopter, this was flown with some of the very early lithium ion batteries. I think it was like three cells lithium ion from Qualcomm. Qualcomm, the company. They, I got a hold of some of those batteries. I think I contacted the company and I told them what I was doing. They sent me some samples of those batteries. So that's how that helicopter. That's how I flew this helicopter, and that's how it shows in that video of this flying. And by the way, that video is not my own. It's of somebody that bought the housefly and went to a local gym, I think, where they fly these models, and they, he flew this helicopter and he sent me the video, and so that's what I'm posting here. So it's not my own. So um, you know, I have so many videos of my own videos with my own helicopters. So this is going to be a video of a customer that actually bought this and flew it. So you have a, you can rest assured that it wasn't me doing that. It was somebody else that actually flew this. So the helicopter, flew just fine and beautifully. So um, this helicopter weight wise, 4 ounce helicopter, 4 ounces. If you weigh this, this is going to be a little more than 4 ounces, with a body, with a battery, so it's a little heavier than this one right here. But the key point is the way these helicopters fly. This is 19, 20 years ago, with no electronic uh, stabilization other than what I just mentioned. Just a tail gyro for the tail to stabilize the tail, and the rest is just hand control. Flybar for the rotor. Of course, this is different than this one because this is a 5-bladed rotor head, and this is just a 2-bladed. But as far as the size and the performance in the quality of flight, there's no comparison. And this when this was working, and I do have videos of this helicopter. I got it to hover, and it was pretty static, throughout almost the whole video, which surprised me that I was able to get this helicopter to do that, with the sensors working properly. But it was so erratic that sometimes it would fly okay, and some other times the throttle would just creep up, and it would jump up abruptly, to 30 feet into the air, and I had to use the kill switch, to bring it down. There's no other way to do that. Some people have said, just use the turn off the radio. That doesn't work. At least it didn't work for me. Your only resource is to hit the button. And I even modify my radio to have the button on the back so that I can access it really quick with my other finger, while I'm still using the controls, on my right hand. So right hand control, I fly thumb over index finger, and then so this finger it was my trigger point in case something went wrong, and sure enough it did. It went out of sight. I had to kill the switch, bring it down. It crashed, and luckily my landing gear saved the helicopter from getting totally damaged. And as you can see, my last flight was indoors. I was trying to get this thing to see if it maybe by me reworking some of these things and resoldering some of these things, it would hold. It held for a couple of flights, and then it got total. So I thought I'd do a video just comparing this. I was going through some of my old videos, and watching how these things have flew back in the day, with the technology that we had back in those days. And this little guy flew a lot better than that. So I am going to. This doesn't have the servos, the electronic equipment. I took it out to repurpose that on some other little helicopter that I did. But I am going to bring it back, everything the way it was, and then do some flights with this guy here, because I am. I bought these helicopters with the notion that maybe this technology was up and up, especially this year. I think these helicopters came out back in 2023, and so I was thinking maybe they fixed all the bugs, because I haven't been into helicopters. I had to take a break from helicopters back in 2019. No, what am I saying? 19, 2010, around that time, because I embarked on work that I had going with the ultralights and the microlights that I also show in some other videos. I'm still doing that. It hasn't stopped, and then I got tired of working just on those things, and then I came back full circle back to my helicopters. And this is my pride and joy, this little gem right here, the Housefly. There was no other helicopter on the market when I came up with this design, and I offered it. I used to sell these as a builder's kit. You did have to buy the electronics, your own radio, of course. It wasn't a plug and play thing back in those years. But a much better flyer than this guy here. Although this one has a really spiffy body, I do give kudos, to the company for the really, really detailed bodies that these have. It's just amazing, the details there. But in terms of performance, they suck, So what's a nice body when the performance is not up there? And I this one kicked this guy's butt, 19 years ago. Check out the video, link in the description below, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.